Hello, friends. Welcome to today's stream. um, yeah, something fun today. I haven't done drawing on Steam stream. Jeez. Oh my god. Um, drawing on stream for a while. Quite a number of years, actually. um, yeah. So I have a campaign that's in the works. I'm not the DM. It's my partner's campaign that he's working on. And I have a little guy that I'm doing the line out for at the moment. I finished the sketch, but I've been taking my time with the line out and kind of trying to enjoy it a little bit. Yeah. No tea today. My kitchen is blocked off by a mopped floor. But it's okay. I have planned accordingly. I have heated up my lunch. It's already here. I have my Fanta juice, and we're good to go. All right. Oh gosh, that's embarrassing. I have like a crotch shot of him as I look over that side. All right, let's just move that up. Here we go. This is my little dude. Mind you, I say little. He's not. I always make tieflings really tall because I think it's really funny. Yeah. This is Thynerakir, or Nerak, and he is a tiefling, obviously. It's the tail and the horns and whatnot. He's also an elf, so you can technically do like hybrids. Tieflings don't necessarily have to look like tieflings. They're half-bred anyways, so what's to say that his ancestors didn't, play around with elves and demons and whatnot? They don't have to be human, necessarily. Yeah, he's a fighter for now. I have plans of multi-classing into Warlock, I think. Yeah. His backstory is really loose at the moment. I was spitballing it a couple months ago, but honestly, I've forgotten half of it, to be honest. Basically, he is a soldier for a elven kingdom. He's not very high ranking. He's like basically a little grunt. And eventually I want to multi-class into that like warlock. Maybe it's not warlock. Maybe it's wizard. It's something to do with like swords and dancing. That it like vaguely touches on elf stuff, so I'm like, yeah, that makes sense in my head, but it's gonna sound like utter nonsense unless I look at it. But anywho, let's get into it. Here he is. If I pull up my sketch layer, that's what we got so far. Normally, see now I don't draw that often, to be honest. I really need to draw more. Because it's a lot of fun, but I just don't have the motivation a lot of the time after work to do anything. Also last night my controls got messed up while I was doing stuff. So let's fix that. Okay. Now this is a little more squishy than I'm used to. Mainly because I'm used to using my tablet. So but I need to give my Cintiq some love, you know? She's so expensive. Oh, I mean, double-edged sword. Like, I'm happy that I'm using my tablet more, but also my Cintiq's really expensive and I should use it. Anyways, let's bump the stabilization up. Essentially, I did the sketch in my normal pixel size for the canvas, which is much less big than this. Wow, English today, jeez. So the sketch is a lot thicker than it normally is. But normally I leave it I like do another rough sketch on top of it and call that like line art and then just color it. It's a style, but it's really lazy. It's mostly because I can't line art. But I've every single time I try, I just lose a lot of the movement that I get with my my line art, not my line art, my sketch. But I mean, doesn't everybody? So I've just kind of bitten the bullet here, and I've decided that maybe I need to like work on that and actually line up stuff. So I had a little look at some stuff, and basically what I'm trying at the moment is if I blow my canvas sketch up really big, and then line art with like a smaller brush, with a lot of tilt sensitivity, not tilt sensitivity, what do you call it? Stabilization. But maybe it'll look good. So far so good. So yay. Yay me. Anyways, so unfortunately today a lot of it's gonna be really close up of me just drawing shit. I will try and get the navigation a little bigger so at least you can see him in the corner. But yeah. I also have lunch today beside me. We're having tteokbokki again. It was really good. Oops, that's not the right color. I've put more konomiyaki sauce in it. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I'm gonna set a timer just so I know when to take a break. There we go. Beautiful. Some exciting things are happening after stream today. Nothing to do with Ecliptic, but I am going to Metro Hobbies. Woohoo! My partner's Japanese paints. So funny story. His dad is also. It's, you know how like people, like parents pass on genetics to their kids. It's kind of like that, where he passes on his model kit building as like a hobby onto him. Kind of like, you know, my parents. One of my parents is an artist, so obviously I get that. But yeah, so he's like hoarded all of my partner's paints. And then he kind of forgot that he had them until I went, oh, you know, like I want to use like mini paints and blah blah blah, and he's like, oh, I have paints. I'm like, what? You have paints? What do you mean? We went and rescued them last week, and unfortunately, poor thing, they've all been used and or dried up. So today's mission at Metro Hobby is to rescue them with paint thinner, because they're like gloopy. Some of them are really gloopy and have like clogged up my brushes. I'm like, no, we need to fix this. They're pretty reasonably priced here as far as like paints go, for a specific thing, but to be honest, they're always going to be cheaper in Japan. Like it's Japan, everything's really cheap. I've realized that this might not be the right size. Let's see. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, okay. So I'm working on the pants right now. So a lot of the outfits that I do are like, what happened there? That was random. A lot of the outfits are like inspired by other people's art. So essentially I just go on Pinterest and I kind of create a board for a character, and then I just keep like searching random stuff and just putting stuff that I'm like, that looks cool, that looks cool. And then I put it all together on a canvas, and then I go, okay, well, what do I like from that? What do I like from that? And then together it creates something that looks kind of cool. Yeah, I always try and make sure that there's like bags and stuff, or like pouches on my characters, because I feel like it just loses a bit of the fun if I'm like, he has a pouch, and I'm like, but he doesn't have it on the drawing. Yeah. The sword is not finalized as well. I can't remember what it is. I think it's a scimitar, maybe. I don't actually know what they look like, so I've just kind of done that for now. But I'll come back to that later. That might need another sketch, to be honest. Okay, cool. Let's carry on with the pants. I'm kind of scared to do the cloth because look at that beautiful movement. I don't want to ruin it. So maybe let's just keep going with the pants. Yeah, it's probably going to be a less chatty stream today because I too tend to lock into it when I'm drawing. So apologies in advance if I just go quiet randomly. I'm not muted, I swear. That's why we have music today. Thank you. Okay. It's probably pretty frustrating to watch me draw, because I will draw a line and then I will undo it. There we go. Ooh, website coding, what you doing? A little snack. Ah, cool. Yeah, true. That's alright, you can just send it to me. Shall have a look after stream. Yeah, cool. Ooh, that needs to be bigger. Uh-oh. Oh, that's too big. Yeah, something quite funny happened at work last week. On my one sales shift. A lady came in and she was, there's one of those customers where like Apple's products are set out in a very specific way. And so she's like, I want a MacBook with a touchscreen. I'm like, great, that's an iPad Pro. Like, they don't do touchscreen MacBooks because they have iPad Pros. Like, that's literally the same thing without the keyboard. But she's like, but they're the same price. I'm like, yes, it's because it's a MacBook without the keyboard. She's like, what? Anyway, so she admits to me that she obviously wants the laptop for work, but she likes to draw as well. I'm like, oh, great, you've asked the right person. And so I'm telling her about, like, you know, the fact that you don't have to get the iPad Pro. Like, it's really not, like, needed for just, like, hobby artists and stuff. Like, it's great, but you don't really need it. So I was like, oh, you know, you can get, like, the 9th generation one, you know, it still lets you use, like, da-da-da. And then she goes, what do you use? I had to admit to her that I use a Cintiq. And she's like, what's that? And I'm like, uh-oh. Anyways, I show her, and she's like, I want that. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't want that. You don't want that. So I spent like 5 minutes trying to convince her that she didn't need a Cintiq. Like, I am my work's worst enemy. Like, I need to stop doing that because it would have made me like $1,000. But I was like, no, you don't need that. Like, please don't buy that. I was like, you can buy like a bamboo one instead. They're so much more affordable and definitely more friendly for what you're doing. Yeah, apparently she's gonna come back tomorrow to talk to me about it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's so funny how like trusting people are with me at work. I'm like, yeah, that's true. That's true. Probably not at my specific store though. That's not gonna win us any friends. Yeah, I have a relatively quiet store. So it's kind of that fine balance of like actually making money for the store to stay open, but also like keeping customers coming back. I'm not very good at it. But that makes probably me I'm like the customer champion. They're like, I want to talk to you because you're not going to sell me anything. My boss is like, stop it. That's true. Yeah, that's what I explained it to. I was like, well, I have this intake because it's like literally my job. Like, I'm a game dev. I use this for work. And she's like, oh. But yeah, I was like, you don't even have to get Wacom. And she's like, but aren't they the best? Like, yes. You can get an XP pen or a Huion. It's kind of one of those things where people ask, it's such a common question of like, do I get like drawing tablet or a pen display as like my first one? And it's so hard because they're so different from each other. It's always such a difficult question to answer. Though I'm of the opinion that like start with the drawing tablet first. Don't go in with a pen display. Yeah. But I mean, it's mostly because all of my friends have gone from drawing tablets to pen displays. And then if you upgrade in the future, it's really awesome to have that still. Like my Intuos still works. But I basically use it when I go overseas and stuff for extended periods of time. And it's really good for that because it's small. It's really light. It weighs less than my laptop. Yeah. The cool thing about them though is you can still use them as a monitor. That's plans for when I move next. I'm gonna mount my wide monitor so I can have my Cintiq as a third monitor, I suppose, at this point. Yeah, it's usually tucked off behind my laptop on my desk, which is a shame because it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I've got, problems with object permanence. I'm like, forget that I have a Cintiq. Yeah, like it's so nice to use. But like, I would totally get it if someone was like, because it's that thing as well as like, oh true. It's that thing of like imposter syndrome. Like I feel like if I bought this when I first started digital drawing, I'd be like, my drawing sucks. Like this doesn't. I don't. Why did I buy this? Like I suck, kind of thing. What I do need to do, I need to find the very first drawing I ever did on the tablet. I think that'd be a really funny comparison because it was really, really, really bad. To be fair, I did that on purpose. But when I was using the drawing tablet, I didn't understand that you could just like put your hand on it for ages. So I was like drawing with my hand like hovering above it and trying not to touch it. To be fair, my Intuos has touch sensitivity, so I can use it like that, but I turned it off. So it's like spent like probably a good 6 months doing that until I realized no, I can just put my hand on the tablet. So there's like a just drastic jump from like being really, really bad at drawings because I couldn't properly draw, to like being the same as what like my traditional stuff was. It was a bit funny. So yeah, I drew a cat, so I'd love to find that cat somewhere. Have another bite of my my lunch. Mm. Okay. So these are the leg wraps. They're supposed to be leather, but I might make them cloth. I'm not sure at this point. So here we go. I always do this. I get really like excited with the lines, and then it's like it's leather. I'm like, it's cloth now. That's okay. It's probably I could probably make the bottom part leather, anyways. Get away with it. I feel like it's probably a bit more practical than like leather wraps. So I guess they're more protection. Okay, cool. Getting there. Hopefully I finished the line art today because I'd love to do some coloring. It's probably my favorite part. So we'll see. See how we go. Yeah, I had plans to do Tiny Glade if I finished early today, but that means screwing around with my audio settings, and that also means stopping streams. So I'm like, do I really want to do that? No. So we'll see how we go. But I might set up my my GoPro so we can do some I don't know, maybe some dice stuff, a little bit of dice stuff. Yeah. Maybe some dice stuff. I have to sand some stuff. Yeah. I have this rule of like I'm not allowed to make more dice if I have the last set not finished. But I'm breaking that rule this week. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish the set before Friday, but that's fine. Not very good at sticking to my own rules because I've got probably 4 sets of dice that I haven't finished. To be fair, they were ones that didn't really turn out so well, so I'm a little less enthusiastic about fixing them. Because I'm like, I don't really like them, so. But I need to finish them at some point. It's one of those things, like, every time I bring up the fact that I do resin dice, everyone's like, do you sell them? I'm like, no, they're really bad. I really need a pressure pot. Because I can't just keep fixing them, but I've got so many that I'm like, it's getting to the point where I either just bite the bullet and get one, or I like start palming off my poorly made dice. Alright, so I think that cloth is done. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's all working for me. Yeah, have a little snack. Jeez. Rice cakes are way more chewy than I anticipated. I was like, oh, it'll just be a quick little chew. Nope. Definitely not. Make it look like it's attached. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I I had my Cintiq out last night. I was doing a poster. It's incredible. Like, my partner and I have the same degree at two very different universities. It's incredible the amount of documents he has to do for a game. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, oh, I'm gonna do a self-reflection, and I'm like thinking, like our self-reflections were like a page. There were some questions. It was pretty loose. Like, you just wrote stuff. And then he's like, yeah, here's my 20-page reflection. I'm like, what? Jeez. They thankfully gave him an extension because, yikes. But yeah, I'm kind of appreciating my degree a little bit more after watching the mayhem of him trying to finish his. I'm like, yeah, we had it better. Exactly. That's my thing. And it's all to do with like the amount of stuff he did, rather than like how he did things or reflecting on it. Yeah, true. No, there's always room for improvement, but yeah, like as far as like workload, yeah, it's bonus. Oof. Yikes. I actually got accepted to Susunbone first before I did RMIT, but I was like, no. Luckily, I said no. Yeah. Would have been, yeah, we actually would have been in the same degree at the same time, which would have been really funny. We may have ended up in like the same cohort as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. He has a double degree for that reason. So he's finished the technically the game side of it, the like design side, but he's finishing off the computer science side. Hence why there's a lot of ridiculous documents. Yeah, that's true. There isn't a lot of game art in a design degree. Hey, so yeah. Um, yeah, there was one games illustration class, but it was like an elective though, so it was really difficult to like get in. And it was open, right? It was open to the rest of the uni, right? That like baffled me, like the fact that games electives were open to the rest of yeah, the rest of the university. Like there wasn't a prerequisite of you being a game student. Like so many of us missed out. It sucked. Yeah, that would have been useful. But we got scotch free on that one. um, our animator is from the animation degree, so she actually got taught that stuff. So yay! Who would have thought? Um, yeah, it's kind of crazy that we aren't like there isn't crossover at all. Like we can't just pull animation students and then their final thing is also to do with like a capstone and stuff. I feel like that would be more beneficial than teaching us like high level animation. And then I guess like if you want to do high level animation, then you can still do the animation degree for games. Yeah, that's true. But they always fall through though. And like doing that kind of stuff as your degree and also a club is so exhausting. Like I would have loved to have done that stuff, but like it's just so exhausting. But then you lose out on the fact that like there's no games students in there. Yeah, true. Yeah. Like there were talks about getting other degrees into clubs to do game jams and stuff, but it's just so hard to teach it, when it's like you're living and breathing it every week. It's like I kind of want to break from it. That's why I joined clubs, but I didn't really go to them because I was so busy programming. It's a bit sad. I didn't get the full university experience, but yeah, it is what it is. I think maybe I want to start over here. Oh, I can finish that actually. Maybe let's finish over here. Oh, gotta save it. Yeah, true. Yeah, it's nice having all this free time to do whatever I want. Especially in games. There's no like assignments of being like, you have to do this. I'm like, you know what? I want a glow in the dark lion and I'm gonna make it happen. The only person stopping me is CJ. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Like other universities took forever to go back in person. I'm kind of glad we did when we did. Um, like take OCAD. It was like early 2023, and some of their classes were still online, which is crazy. To be fair, my online class was because my lecturer lived in Boston, so they weren't about to make this man fly to Toronto every week. That wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, that was a really cool class. It was a shader art, but not for video games, for like art installations and stuff. So that was cool. That was the entire reason I flew over to Toronto. That was the only class. I was like, I don't care what else I do. I want that. Like, that's all I want. I want to do shader art. I want to actually learn how to do shaders. Yeah. And so now I can do HLSL and GLSL, which is like graphics programming stuff. I'm not very good at it, but I know what it is, and I know how to interact with it. So I made a grass shader with it. So it's got its uses. Yeah. Um, I feel like it's a niche kind of thing because oh, there we go, got a break time. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a niche thing because it can appear a bit generic, like AI-y, but it's not. Mm. Um, yeah, can be a little difficult to tell if it's like a shader or if someone's generated it with AI, which sucks because it's cool. True, true. I had a lot of fun. It's kind of like Unity where like you want it to do one thing and then it does something else. Especially when you're like kind of experimenting with something and you like have a vague idea of how to do it, but you don't actually know like the exact wording of it. So it just kind of throws you something random. That's what it's like doing with shaders. Like if you just tweak the horizontal a little bit, tweak the UV a little bit, it like does something weird. That was probably one of my favorite classes I did in Canada. So, in saying about animation, there was a 3D, what do they call it? It was like experimentative animation or something. It's like full degree over there, at OCAD, but they actually taught us how to 3D rig. What? That's crazy. Huh. Oh, that's crazy. An actual 3D rigger teaching 3D rigging. Mind blowing. So I went from like, what's a 3D? What's a bone? To being actually able to like put something right. Be able to like put something together. And because I was kind of, well, I taught myself rigging a little bit the previous semester. So I was like, well, it'd be nice to actually learn. But like everyone in the class, because I picked the beginner one, nobody knew how to do it. And so it was pretty obvious that I could, because he was also teaching us 3D modeling as well. So it was pretty obvious that I could 3D model. He's like, you've been doing this for a while, haven't you? And I'm like, yeah. Awkward. Yeah, true. Um, yeah. But my assignment for that was rigging a dog. And he's like, you're insane. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm insane. To be fair, at that point, I didn't know how useful that was going to be because a lot of Ecliptic's animals are quadrupedic. So, yay! If a rig breaks, I know how to fix it. Kind of. So am I really that crazy? Probably not. He was really nice though. But like going to, yeah, like it's pretty incredible like what RMIT allows us to do, like with all the skills and stuff we learn. Like it's sometimes a little, I forget how like incredible it is to be like, yeah, I've made like 20 games, and that's like not normal. You know, like there's some people that were like, I've never made a game in my life, and I'm like, don't you have a games degree? I'm like, that's crazy. What do you mean you've been doing theory for like 2 years? That's what. And they're like, what, you've made a game? I'm like, yeah, I have, all by myself too. Like, you know, like, yeah, OCAD was the first time I ever did group, and a large group too. Yeah, like it was pretty baffling to see that. Yeah, and out of the entire, so that was like a, this subject was so, yeah, true. Like we always have so many. Like, and it's just like normal for us. Like you could ask any one of our degree people in our year, and they'd be like probably at least like 8 games plus. Yeah, whereas most people have 2, which is it's crazy. It's also kind of a shame because I feel like it's not really that known in the industry here. Like, you know, like yeah, I've done 2 giant projects, but I've got 20 games that I've done all by myself. Like that's, yeah, and because like we've got to learn everything to be able to do well, especially in the first year. Yeah, so I've got all these random skills, but it's, yeah, it's difficult to translate that for a games job, to be like, yeah, I can do all this stuff. Like, yes, you want a VFX artist, but I can do that, but I can do all of this other stuff that, like, yeah, it's just awkward. It's so awkward, and it's such a shame because I feel like, you know, there's so many of us out there that's just like a bit of a waste of talent. But I mean, what can you do? It's kind of the industry at the moment. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, it's the easiest to pick up, to be honest, and it doesn't require a lot of um, require a lot of, what do you call it? Like space. Unreal Engine is massive. It's like downloading like Halo or like Call of Duty, and it's like 200 gigs, and you're like, what for? What on earth for? Like, what is in that engine that it's so big? Like, it was just not accessible to me for so long, to the point that I had it on a hard drive because I couldn't justify the space it took up on my old laptop. I've got it on this one now, because we replaced the hard drive, but like it's massive, and why? For what reason? So I can totally understand why Unreal Engine isn't really that popular for like smaller studios, because it's big for no reason. So I don't like that little strap. I'm gonna make that a big one. I'm gonna split that up. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you later if you pop in again. Haven't had any spooky songs lately. Should I go rogue on the playlist? I feel like I should. Where are we up to? Did we get? Oh yeah, we haven't got any. Where are we? Where are we at? Oh, it's like super long. You know what? I think we might just go rogue. Let's let's just play the new Spooky Week one, hey? Alright, I might skip this one, because we listened to it earlier. There you go. Spooky. Alright, well, my timer did go off, so I think I'm gonna stop here for a little bit. Right as I put the spooky playlist on. Oh, alright, that's okay. Cool. So I'm gonna be back in probably 5 minutes. I'm gonna have a snack, have a stretch, and come back. Alrighty. We're back. Getting spooky. Alright. I'm gonna put my timer on so I know when to take a break. Have some Fanta juice. The floors are slowly drying. Like, mopping just does a really damn good job of cleaning the floors. But it takes so long to dry. It's such a pain. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. We're getting spooky with it. I also realized, because of the way I set my audio up lately, I can just kind of listen to whatever I want. I don't necessarily have to listen to like copyright-free music. So maybe later I'll put some music, like Nintendo or something, or Dungeons and Dragons music. Or Skyrim, honestly, that's always a good hitter. I usually listen to that when I'm drawing something for D&D. I think I want to do it like that. Right, pull that down. Okay. Cool. Alrighty. Cool. Okay, so if I put that there, I haven't really decided what's underneath the fabric straps, but that's okay. I think I have to make that one on top now. Okay. Loving the vaporwave in this spooky album. I love that they've released this and are doing like truly copyright-free music. It's so good. There we go. I think that's the final one, right? Yeah. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Okay. Ooh, this is especially spooky. Okay. No. I think I need to do that separate. So we'll do that, and then we'll do that. Yeah, that's better. Great. That's the boot. Okay. Like connect the dots a little bit there. Ah. There we go. Beautiful. Very booty. Booty, yes. Booty. Just entertaining myself. Okay. You know what I could do? I could do like a... it's tempting. Let's see how that... Ugh, no, that's too thick. Yeah, that's better. Oh yeah. Let's check the lines. Beautiful. Alright. I managed to boil the kettle without getting my little slipper prints all over the kitchen floor. So I've put it in my Yeti. So I'll be able to make tea later. Things you gotta do. You know what? I think we might just be able to finish the lineup today. I wasn't sure. And I think it can be done. It's realistically, I don't really have that much more to do, to be honest. Okay. Oh, that's underneath the cloth, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Oops, that's too big. Ugh. So, a little bit of backstory on this character. He's loosely inspired by the Baldur's Gate Tiefling I have that I'm playing in the playthrough with my partner at the moment. Loosely. He has a different name. I can't remember what the Baldur's Gate one's name is. We haven't played for a little bit. But we've named him. We've named him here. His name is Thynerakir. I think I got it from like the fantasy generator name thing. Just thought it sounded really cool. And elf-y. There we go. Oh, that's too thick. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, that looks nice. Oops, nope. Cool. I think that's a leather one, so I guess I should probably put the little sewing little stitches on it. getting there. More lines! More lines! Does it... No. Okay, cool. Yeah. Look at that, that looks really nice. Very nice, very nice. Okay. Oh, it's the scary part soon. Okay. Let's do his knee. At least that's not scary. Okay. Spooky. Okay. Cool. I think I want that to be here. There. Cool. Okay. Great. I think it needs to do that here as well, actually. Ooh, this is very spooky. Okay. So it looks like it's actually wrapping around the thing rather than it's the same material. Okay, cool. Sweet. He's got a leg. He's got two of them actually. Okay. Oh, I'm so scared. You know what? I'm actually gonna do it on a separate line art layer because I'm scared. There we go. Oh my god, I've done it. There we go. Super concentrated mode. Oops. Oh yeah. Yeah, alright, cool. That looks a little out of place, so we're just gonna need to bump that up a bit more. Oh yeah. I'm gonna do that. Might be there. Let's assess. Is that as hard as I think? Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I think if the line art wasn't so heavy, it would maybe look better, but I'm not that skilled. Yeah, actually that might work. I think we need to embrace a little bit of these. So hard to make cloth look like it's actually like moving. There we go. Might do it down here as well. Nope. Okay. Um, okay. Cool. 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 how that looks. Yeah. Maybe I do it here as well, actually. That would look nice too. Okay. Ooh, there's a little weird edge. Oops. Always gotta save. I forget that I have to manually save these things. I'm so used to Maya doing it for me. It's a very bad habit to get into, actually. There we go. You know what, we're gonna make that work. We're gonna make that work. Ooh, very spooky. Okay. That might look a little bit more like a cloth. There we go. I'll leave that actually, as that looks quite nice. As long as some of it kind of looks like it's supposed to look like that, then you're fine. Oops. Yeah, it looks fine. I could probably do that here, to be honest, and that would look quite nice. I might actually do that. Oops. I should just do that there. And then that could be a fold. There we go. Yeah, that looks a bit more like a flowing cloth. Alright, one more to do. So scary. Okay. This one scares me. I might do that squared off edge as well. Okay, so here. Okay, and then that one kind of goes in here like this. Should actually probably let it go out to like, yeah. Let's do that. That one will look quite nice. Back to this. Oh, we're already at the end of it. Great. Let's go. Wish you could like shuffle songs. Like have a new shuffle every time. Kind of sucks that it doesn't. That's okay. Maybe let's do this one. There we go. That will do. very joyous. Doot doot. Yeah. Great. Okay. Feel like we're getting there. Great. Okay. Now let's sort out this. Alright, cool. Want to thin down the ends of this a little. Cool. And that was the other problem. That should look quite nice now. That's a little problem there. Cool. Alright, let's add another little, there we go. Let's pull the, how does that look? Yeah, I like that. Should actually probably make that look like it's part of a larger, there we go. Part of a larger chunk. Yeah. Super concentrated mode. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, let's add that back in. Alright, maybe I'll actually look at what the equipment list is for our friend here. I'm gonna do this off stream though. Okay, cool. Ooh. Should be in here somewhere. There it is. Alright, cool. Alrighty, what's in his... yeah, it is a scimitar. Great, cool. Let's see what they look like. Yeah, okay. So I was kind of on the right. I was on the right vibe. They're a little bit more curved at the end. Which, I mean, I guess naturally kind of works with how we're going. Alright, I might just kind of leave that up there. I think this warrants a new little sketch. So I want the, I think that's fine. So if we do like a curved, I should probably look up elf ones as well, just to boom touched. Ooh, that sounds fancy. Oh, true. That's, yeah. That's very true. That's very, I don't specifically need that one, but maybe I can. What would that look like? Okay, so they're quite pretty. Got it. His needs to be pretty. Which maybe I need to redo this a little bit. That's okay. Alright. So let's okay. Move that down a bit. Do something funky with the anything fun. That's quiet. Bit of a decorated blade. That's quite pretty actually. Okay. So I feel like the hilt should come out somewhere. Like he's holding it here, so maybe the nub can be out there. Just a bit of a nub there. Should kind of look like his knuckle. I have drawn his hand a little weird. I'm now using my own hand as a reference. Okay. That should probably be about there. There we go. Instead. Cool. Okay. No, I don't want it to look too nice, because after all he is a god, so I don't think they would give him the finest of weaponry. But I want it to be a little nice. You know, it's just elf stuff, you know? It's supposed to look a little nice. Okay, now how does this curve into itself? Okay. So blade kind of does this. Yeah. That's the sharp edge. Oh, another break time. There we go. That's probably ornate enough. Okay, let's do a little pause. Since we are, I might come back to that shape because I don't know if I necessarily like how slopey it is. But that's okay. Alright, we're gonna have a break. So I will be back soon, probably in another 5 minutes, I would say. That's probably pretty good. Alrighty, and we're back. Let's get back in here. Alrighty. Oh, excuse me. I made a tea. I also did some Pokemon Sleep, as you do. Anyways, let's go back to here. Now, I think I like it, but there's something off. So I think maybe no, I think that curves up too much. Okay, let's see if that kind of does it for me. If that's what I'm going for. So I'll get rid of the okay. I don't think I like the curve. So maybe let's oh no, we don't want to get rid of that. So let's get rid of that. Let's try that. Try that again. So let's just do it straight. And then maybe curve it up a little bit. Yeah, I think that might look a little better. Yeah, okay, that's the one. Great. Cool, so I guess we don't need the sketch layer anymore. Okay, so let's do with the line up here. So we want to get rid of this. Okay. There we go. Want it to be as clean as I can. Cool. Okay, sweet. So that's going to look pretty good. Sip of my tea. It's nice. Yeah, it's amazing how the Yeti keeps things ice cold. and ice cold. Well, yes, I suppose ice cold. But also nice and warm. My tea is not scalding, which is good. Okay. There we go. So his thumb is gonna start looking a little more normal now. I really don't like drawing hands. I feel like that's quite common among artists. I'd rather not. Okay, cool. Yeah, the gloved hand, I don't like it, but I feel like it's just gonna take me like an hour to get it right, and I can't be bothered. It works. It works. It looks weird, but it works for me, so we're just gonna run with it. I guess. Oh, speaking of which, actually, while I'm looking at it, I should make sure that you can see that this is a leather belt. So that should actually go across here. So I'm just gonna fix it up a little bit. There we go. That should flow a bit better. Nice. Beautiful. And then that is a continuation of the belt. Cool. There we go. That's leather. You know what? One of these probably be a little, like, line there. Beautiful. Cool. That's a join there. Alright, let's do that hilt. Okay, cool. So I want this to be metal, so I'm not gonna do any like leather wraps on it. I definitely could, but I feel like it would be like he might want to hide it, but I feel like he wouldn't want to hide the fact that it's elven, especially because these would be probably pretty obvious. Oh boy, you have a really slightly specific, intricate, embossed, burnt in, carved in, what do you call it? Engraved. There we go. Really specific engraving on your sword. Suspicious. Yeah. Have to put the wrap on top of the sword, so it might be a bit hard to hide it. But this would be of their scimitar variety of sword. It's probably to protect the user in a cooler way. Okay. Cool. Okay. So I think this might warrant a little cheeky. Ooh, that's not the right color. Warrant a bit of a cheeky. There we go. So I want it to be straight until a certain point. Great, cool. I could definitely do this as the squiggle lines. It'd be a bit of a pain, but it would work. I have to be pretty meticulous. back in and fix it. There we go. It's a good start. So I want the sword to kind of start out from here, curve in. Oh yeah, cool. That is a good starting point. Yeah, cool. Alright, I'm gonna do this in pen first. Cool. Oh, we're back on the spooky playlist. Sounds a bit spooky. Might make it a little thicker on that side. Bring it down a bit. Yeah, okay, that looks nice. Yeah, cool. Let's delete that. So I want to look like it's kind of connected to the, oops. Yeah, there we go. That's nice. So I'm gonna bring this hilt out a bit. Just again, so it looks a bit like it's coming out of the hilt. Okay, cool. All right, let's fix these. Whoa. Cool. Awesome. Okay. It's coming together. Some spots are a little bit more obvious than others, so I'll save that for now. Another little obvious spot. I'm about to sneeze. That's probably a good reminder to have a Zyrtec later. Alright. Cool. Oh boy, I can feel my nose running now. Delightful. Okay, that's okay. We're almost done here. Okay, cool. How does that look? Looks a little not organic. That's okay. It's probably going to be easier for me to line it now with that there. Just gonna have to go slow. I say as I immediately screw it up. It's gonna look a little better if it's more organic. Oops. To remember to slow myself down. Nope. Okay, there we go. Okay, cool. Let's go from up here. Alright, I think we'll finish this and then I might, well, I'll end the stream there. So I'm just gonna take it super slow. Following my lines here. Okay. Nope. It's a bit better. Oops. Going a bit too far over. CJ must not be at work at the moment, so my watch is going off with Notion updates. Clearly she's tagged me on a bunch of stuff, so it is being updated on my wrist. Okay, cool. So I think that's pretty much how I wanted it to go. Okay, so let's get rid of the excess here. Just gotta be really careful they don't get rid of these. that back up. Let's take a look. Yeah, that looks nice. Oh, I've forgotten his thing. That's okay. Let's do this. Easy enough fix. Cool. Save that there, bump that up. Alright, I think that's it. That's pretty much it. Yay! Great. Let's crop this, shall we? I don't need my canvas to be that big. Make it a little bit closer. There we go. Great. Cool. Save that there. And then I think that is pretty much stream, to be honest. Yeah, that's about as much drawing I can do in a day without my hand cramping. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. I will be back on Friday with dice making. See how that goes. I'll have my GoPro set up so we can watch me do it. Yeah, I don't think it'll take me the full 2 hours to do it. Usually takes me maybe about an hour. So yeah, I might pull this halfway through and get my desk set up to do some sanding. Anyways, I will catch you next time and see you Friday. Thanks for hanging out.